Hello and welcome to Bakery Store Financial Model Template. This tool returns the feasibility of your bakery operations once the necessary inputs are given. The template is constructed of three parts. These are model inputs, report outputs, and the dashboard itself. So let's start with the dashboard. Choose your projection period from the drop-down menu. Determine your start date by inputting as day, month, and year. Type down your currency. Type in your income tax rate and discounting rate. The discount rate will be used to find the present value of future cash inflows. If you're not sure what to input, you may type down your bank saving deposit rate. Lastly, you may hide the instructions once you get familiar with the template by choosing Hide from the drop-down menu. Once you choose your projection period, the years and sales trends format will be automatically set according to your choice, such as determine your sales trends for each year. If you don't have any sale trends and assumptions, you can delete these and the template will set the sales trends for each year to 100%. But for this case, let's have different sales trends for each year. On the product section, enter your category name, its price you're going to sell, energy and labor cost per unit, and shrinkage and theft. If you don't have any estimations on your energy and labor cost per unit, and if you think you cover all these costs in your fixed costs, you may leave this place as 0, like this. Shrinkage and theft shows the percentage of goods which won't be sold to the customers because it is stolen or damaged. On raw materials section, enter the raw materials you will use to produce your goods, the unit type, buy price, how many days of manufacturing shall be covered by stock of goods, and it takes you to pay to suppliers for goods. Once you get familiar with the template, you may click on the Clear Data button to erase all the dummy data in the template. Let's enter some examples for this case. Let's say we start to sell rolls. Now we can carry on with the ingredient lists. In this section, enter the product you're going to sell and its ingredients. Unit price and material cost will automatically appear once you choose the ingredient. So let's say once you finish this section, go to the sales and inventory. The products you entered on dashboard will be listed in this section. Choose your product. Type down the unit amount of your estimated average daily sales on that product. The product you supply may get affected by seasons. For example, let's say a diminish in sales in summer by 20%. So if you would like to reflect these into seasonal sales trends table, all you have to do is put a 80% on August, or if it is summer, 80% to the whole summer. You may get additional rows in this template by clicking on the plus button on the left hand side. Please remember to input only white cells. The non-white cells, such as in these tables, are formulated and should not be intervened at all. The sales forecast units shows the sold amount of units for each month for each product. A sales revenue forecast table shows your monthly revenues depending on the period and rate. Once adjusted, the numbers change accordingly, such as on the cost of sales section, it is the same logic with the period and rate, only it shows your material, energy, and direct labor costs. On the cost of sales forecast, you may see the sum of cost of goods sold each month. Raw material usage forecast calculates the value of your used raw materials in each month. Raw materials inventory forecast calculates the value of your stored raw materials in each month. Materials purchase forecast calculates the value of raw materials you purchased during that month. And lastly, payments to suppliers forecast calculates the price you have to pay to your suppliers depending on the days of credit you determine on the dashboard. Now we may carry on with a fixed cost. List your staff by title or name, their salary, and number of employees per each month until the end of your projection period. On this table, list your other fixed monthly expenses per month. You may dynamically set the salary evolution from these cells. All you have to do is choose the increased frequency and then change the rate. While this table shows the salary cost of each title, the table under it shows the total salaries to be paid in that month. For example, if we had 2 assistant salesmen, we were going to display each title's salary from here and the total salaries to be paid in here. But for this case, let's change it to 1 for each month. Now we may carry on with the startup costs. List down the expenditures which are made before opening your bakery, their amount, also their equivalent costs. The account section is optional and it is to edit and to analyze the costs for each group in the outputs. On the miscellaneous section, input your equity and loans if you have any. Equity contribution is the money you contribute to the business. Equity repayment is the initial investment that you withdraw from the business. Equity repayment is the initial investment that you withdraw from the business. Debt issuance is the money you borrow from banks or other lenders. Debt repayment is the money you repay to the lenders. Interest paid is the repayment of the interest of the borrowed money to the lender. In the fixed assets subsection, enter amounts of money you're going to reinvest in your business during the course of operation, except initial spendings that you enter in the startup cost section. In this section, you can enter as well expected amounts of depreciation and amortization. Once you complete inputting, you will be able to display the profit and cash flow tables below. The data source is the sheet that contains all your given matched inputs. This sheet is used while constructing the reports in model outputs. We do not recommend you to edit this sheet at all. Now we may look into the model outputs. Let's start with the monthly financial statements. Once you complete inputting your data, press the Update Reports button to refresh the pivot table. If you change anything on the data, please do not forget to update the reports immediately. This section shows the monthly income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement of your company. On the yearly financial statements, you may see the yearly income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement of your company. profit section shows you the process between your sales revenue to your earnings before interest and tax, and adds depreciation and amortization to find the EBITDA. Break-even analysis shows the cumulative profit from the beginning to the end of your projection period, with the main data which form the profit below. The real purpose of this report is to figure out when could the cumulative profit and all the costs equalize each other. Gross profit breakdown will show you the gross profit of each product and type and cost of goods sold for each product. Gross profits report will illustrate your gross profit breakdown report and indicate the gross profit percentage for each source of income. You may set the time frames from the filters to see the results of a specific time range, such as we would like to display the 2020's report, but only on June, July and August, such as this. On the NPV and IRR calculation, you will see the graph of the cumulative net discounted cash flow for each quarter and net present value, and also internal rate of return of this project below. Revenue detail section shows the detailed monthly revenue report, which indicates the generated total revenue from each product or services. Account payable details show the quarterly cost to the suppliers for each product or service. Inventory balances at cost shows the stock value of each raw material you keep for each quarter. And finally, cost details shows the cost of each product and raw material per month. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check our other templates at www.someka.net.